Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I think, Arvind, we can begin now. It's 5-6.
47 already joined. Okay, ma'am. Now you can start.
Okay, sir.
Good evening, Kushbu.
Good evening, sir.
Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. I hope the screen is visible and I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Kushbu.
Okay. A very good evening to one and all present here. I, Kushbu Santhalia, welcome you all to the virtual in-house training of Kashidi High School. My topic for today is addressing challenges in the post-COVID schooling. So let's begin. This session is divided into 4 parts. First is the introduction part. Next, we would see the various challenges that we all are facing in the post-COVID schooling. After that, we would see what can we do as educators to cope up with these challenges. Last but not the least are the activities and the games that we can conduct in our classrooms for our students. The uniform is one size too big. The shoes needs breaking in. The brand new backpack hangs awkwardly off a pair of tiny shoulders. There's a brave smile with a missing tooth or two, a final holding of hands, a hug, a kiss, a hesitant wave, and inevitable tears. Before COVID disrupted our lives and forced our kids to open their laptops and learn from home, the first day of school was a rite of passage, the start of a life-determining journey that had broadly followed the same shape and rhythm for generations. So this has been followed since ages. When we were also in the school, we also followed the same old routine. The first day of the school with our new school bags, new uniforms, new books. And then from the second day, the same old story. The teacher comes to the class, teaches, leaves. The next teacher comes to the class, teaches, and leaves. So this was the life of the teachers as well as the students before the COVID-19 pandemic. The chaotic corridors, the ringing of the school bells, the playgrounds filled with children running here and there. But now, after COVID, everything has changed. From kindergarten to standard 12, classrooms are run by teachers who deliver lessons that starts and ends with a bell. They set tests, watch over examinations, and post grades that might delight, disappoint, or even surprise parents. This one-size-fits-all approach to education has been in place for a couple of 100 years. Now, however, it's undergoing a change because of COVID. As lockdown eases and school starts to reopen in some places across India, it's a good time to take stock and look at the future of the education in India. Children who start school from now will grow up to be workers and leaders in the digital first world that will demand new skills and new way of thinking, of course. In short, education's age-old practice, the 3 R's, that is reading, writing, and arithmetic. This is what happens in each and every school. Reading, writing, and arithmetic, and the work is done. But now, after the COVID pandemic, The fourth R is being joined, that is rethink. We all need to rethink now about what we are teaching, how we are delivering lectures. Everything has to be rethought now. Rethinking is the fourth R of education. We now as educators have to rethink on every aspect of the teaching learning that is happening in the classroom, be it lesson planning, assessment, or teaching method. This new normal calls us to get out of our comfortable shoes and start to rethink. Now, challenges that educators might face after the school reopening. Before I move on to the next slide, I would like to know from the teachers, especially from the high school teachers, as to what are the challenges that they are facing after the schools have reopened. High school teacher, anybody who would like to share the experience, because the students of standard 6 to 12 are coming to school. So what are the challenges that you all are facing right now? Any teacher who would like to share the experience? Teacher Udita, are you there? Geeta Rani ma'am?
Thank you, Khushbu. Yeah, number of challenges are there, but the most alarming challenge that there is very less respect, or you can see mutual understanding between the teacher and the students.
Right. Because they were not with us. They were not physically with us. Maybe this was the reason why they are not physically. They are not emotionally also attached to us, I suppose. Any other teacher who would like to share? Teacher Manali?
Khushbu, teachers are writing in the chat box. Can you check that, please?
Yeah, I'll check that, sir. Okay. Yeah, poor concentration is one thing that the students are not very interested. Yes, they have lost interest. They have lost that motivation. They've forgotten everything. Yes, right, Ankita teacher. They've forgotten everything that we have taught, from sitting habits, from coming to school, from wishing the teachers. The students that I had also taught, they are not wishing us. Yeah, from the root level, they have all the skills that we had taught, they have lost everything. Yes, right. So there are various challenges that we all are facing. So today, we'll be discussing about few of those challenges that is there on the screen. Attendance, health screening, social distancing in classroom, social and emotional well-being, discipline, linguistic skills, dropout, curriculum and syllabus. Kamlesh sir, can you mute yourself? Kamlesh Ojha sir. Okay, the first one is attendance. Even after the schools have reopened, the parents might experience inhabitation in terms of sending their child to school because of the psychological uncertainty related to the child's health. So attendance might not be equal as pre-COVID times. We all are seeing that the attendance is obviously not the same that was there earlier. The teachers, all the teachers have experienced this, that the attendance is not the same. This is a major problem that we all are facing. Even after the schools have reopened, the attendance is still very low, especially in standard 6 to 8. Parents are still hesitant to send their child to school. Like there are many parents also, apart from teachers, there are many parents also who have their children and they are going to school. Would you, if the schools from standard 1 to 8 also, if this 1 to 5 also reopen, would you send your children to school so early? Like I would like to know from the teachers. What do you think? Okay, Mario sir, yes. Any other parent? As parents, would you like to send your child to school? If the school reopens for 1 to 5 or for LKG to 5, or from 6 to 12 also if your child wishes to go to school. Still the parents are very hesitant in sending their child to school, right? Because there are many uncertainties regarding their ward's health. Yes, not so confident, Sudhata teacher. Yes, we as parents, we are not so confident still to send our children to school because we still fear because the coronavirus has still not gone. So it is our duty to make the parents aware and understand that our school is taking proper measures for the safety of our students. While I was browsing, I came across a video. An institution in Delhi had made a short video on the mock entry of the students, where they had shown safety measures that the school had taken. I would like to share that video with you all. The video won't have audio because it is not supported with the phone. So I have just played the video in fast forward mode. So I'll just show that video. So this is how the children, this was a mock video that was prepared by the school where the coming of the children, everything has been recorded and the teacher is speaking in the background where the teacher is telling what are the safety measures that the school is taking. Sanitization process after the students have gone, the school, the labs, the restrooms, the corridors, everything is being sanitized. Even the visitors that are coming are told to download Arogya Setu app, and if it is showing that they are safe, only then they are allowed to enter the school. Health screening is done. Then the parents that are visiting the office, they are made to stand in a queue and social distancing is maintained. So thermal screening, social distancing, sanitizing, everything was followed in the school. So I like this video. Like we can also make such a video for our students so that the parents become confident about sending the child to school. Even the students are coming, but the parents are still not confident. They still don't want the child to come to school. So we can also, because we are also following all the safety precautions, all the safety norms. So we can also make such a videos and send it to the parents and the guardians so that the parents and guardians understand that what are the safety measures that we are taking and they may be encouraged to send the child to the school. Health screening. It is very important to ensure comprehensive health of both students and staff. Mandatory tests and health checkups must be compulsory for those feeling unwell. So as we know, health screening is very important for everyone's safety. We are following this health screening thing in our school as well, but few parents know it. So when we share that video, when the parents sees that video, they will be more confident that the school is taking all the measures and they might send the students to school, and the attendance problem that we are facing, that might get over. I had read a meme recently. It said, "Coronavirus कुंभकर्ण की तरह सोया हुआ है. किसी की लापरवाही से जग गया तो फिर तबाही मचाएगी." So let's us all take all that safety measures and let the kumbhkarn sleep forever, so that it sleeps forever and we are all safe. Social distancing in classroom. Okay, teachers, how many students follow this? You can use the chat box, teachers. How many students follow social distancing? We as colleagues also, I suppose we do not follow social distancing. Teachers from standard 6 to 12, do they follow social distancing in the classroom? Yeah, few, no, right. There are very few, not really, yes. There are very few students who follow the social distancing. We as colleagues, when we meet each other, we We also do not follow social distancing. We also do not wear mask every time. So how do we expect our children to, especially during recess, right, Ankita ma'am? So how do we expect our teachers to, our students to follow the social distancing in classroom, right? It is very important to maintain social distancing in the classroom. Students who are impulsive have hard time putting on break and thinking through the actions. If they are excited to talk or play with other kids, they might get too close without realizing it. So the students who are hyperactive students, the students who always want to talk to each other, who always moves out of their place, they will continue to be that. It is very difficult to handle such students, right? So, but it is our moral duty to see that these norms are not broken. We may at least ask the students to wear the mask all the time. That is also sometimes not happening, as teachers told during recess and all. That is not happening. Even after they had having the tiffin, that is not happening. But it is our moral duty to at least time and again tell the children, time and again remind them that the coronavirus is still there. It has still not left us. So what else can we do to maintain the social distancing? Any other idea that you all have in mind, or any other thing that we can do to ensure that social distancing norm is being followed? Anybody? Primary teachers, you can also answer this. Anything that we can do so that social distancing can be followed in our school? Okay, I'm waiting. Anybody? Please interact. What can we do so that the social distancing things happen in the classroom? Yes, giving recess duty. Yes, sir. Giving recess duty can help us, right? Strictly following the norms. Yes, strictly following the norms. Yes, I think we teachers are always role model, Ankita teacher. It is from us that the students are learning. We must first start following that first, and then social distancing thing can happen in our school as well. Extra benches, yes, Varsha teacher. Extra benches should be removed from the classroom because the students tend to go and sit in that extra bench, and then they tend not to follow the social distancing norm. Yes, sir. Rakesh, sir, creating awareness. Yes, we can create awareness from time to time. It is very important as teachers that we should create awareness among the students, because we as teachers, we all are vaccinated, but the students are still not vaccinated. They are still under that danger zone. Yes, we have to repeat this with the students so that the children also understand the gravity of the situation, right, Ankita ma'am? The students need to understand that the pandemic is still not over. The third wave is still being predicted by the experts. We still need to create awareness. Sitting plans, the students are not following the sitting plans. We can have a discussion on this, and then we can implement all these things so that this norm at least we are following, because all the other things we are doing that. Security check, the safety checks we are doing, the temperature check we are doing, the sanitization part we are doing. So why not this? We can do the social distancing part also. Yes, Sujata ma'am, we can make students aware repeatedly. Yes, we can repeatedly ask the students, repeatedly we can put this in the mind of the students. Then only maybe they will understand that this is also very important part. Social and emotional well-being. As Geeta Rani ma'am told, that social and emotional well-being of the students have completely been changed. They have been detached from the school. They have been detached from the teachers also, because mostly the students that are there in 6, 7, 8, They have never met the high school teachers. They have never physically they have never met the teachers. So it is difficult for them also to come and to suddenly face all these situations. We generally use this phrase with the students like sharing is caring, but sharing is no longer caring now. So how sharing is no longer caring now, but now it is very difficult to cope up with all these challenges. It is very difficult to unlearn all the old habits and to learn the new ones. As adults, it is easy for us to accept so many changes, but it is very difficult for the students to cope up and to accept so many changes, to unlearn so many old things and to learn new things. It is very difficult for the students as well to unlearn and relearn things. When the school reopens, the primary objective of the teacher should not be focused on academics only. We should focus on their social and emotional well-being as well. After a long period of time, when the school reopens, it might be a challenge for the teachers as well as the school and the students to uplift the social development. Since lockdown has been about social distancing, it would be strongly embodied in students' mind. All throughout 1.5 years, the students have listened from the parents, don't go to other places, don't go and visit others, maintain social distancing. Please keep yourself away from people. Don't go out of the house. Be in your house. Don't talk to people much. So all these things have been there inside the student's head for a very long period of time. To remove this again and to imbibe new things is very difficult as a teacher. The students whom I had taught, I would like to share my experience. The students whom I had taught and they are now in high school, they come and they meet us like the primary teachers because we had taught them. They share the experience, like they are very happy with the teaching that is going on, the way that is going on in the high school. They are happy that the first few days the teacher did not teach them. The teachers played games with them. The teacher did the introductory part with them. They interacted with the students. They are very happy that they are getting time to interact with the teachers also and with their co-friends also after such a long period of time. But we see किसी के पेरेंट्स ने इतना ज्यादा बच्चों को डरा के स्कूल भेजा है कि वो बहुत ज्यादा डरे हुए थे. कुछ बच्चे ऐसे भी आए जिसके पेरेंट्स ने बहुत ज्यादा उन्हें डरा के भेजा था एंड वो ऑलरेडी घर से बहुत डरे हुए ही आए थे. तो उनको उस सिचुएशन से बाहर निकालना, दैट इज आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, दैट लाइज ऑन अस. हाउ वी can interact with that student and take that fear out of the students. We as the teachers have to develop sensitivity among ourselves, as students have suffered a lot in the past 1.5 years. Few students were not happy as their friends were not with them, like the batches have changed and the friends are not with them. So few students were not happy that how we will do, how now my friend is not there, whom I will have the tiffin with, whom I will talk to. But as a teacher, we need to explain this to the students that this too shall pass. Maybe 1.5 years, again, everything will come back to normal and everything will again we will all mix together and again we will have normal things together. So we have to continuously be with these students who are there, who are coming to school with that fear in their mind. Students might hesitate in communicating with others, which might affect the learning process. It might not be easy for the students to express how they feel because of adhering to lockdown and practicing being alone. As I already told you, They are practicing continuously. They had been told at home to be in their room or not to go out. So they have developed that habit of being alone. But as a teacher, now we need to start, as Ankita ma'am told, we need to start from the root level, and again we need to start everything in a fresh manner. So well-being of the students are very, very important. Positive accomplishment, positive meaning, positive relationship, positive engagement, everything. This is what we need to give to our children. This next slide, I found it very interesting. This is what COVID has taught us. Self-love and self-care. This is what we all have learned. That everything is, if we are healthy, if we are safe, if we love ourselves, if our mental and physical health is good, we can cope up with everything that comes. So this is all about self-care and mental health that we as a teacher should try to imbibe in our students. Share your feelings to encourage self-awareness. We should share our feelings with the students so that they are encouraged. They are encouraged to share their feelings also. Set aside time for low stress or solo activities that we never do. We never take out time for ourselves. We never take out time for those solo activities that we love. Maybe somebody likes cooking, maybe somebody likes driving, maybe somebody likes going for a long walk. But we never do this. And the same thing we never teach to our children. But this has to be taught to ourselves also, to our children also. We need to take out time for ourselves. Find social groups that help us to feel that we belong to somewhere. Somewhere, something, that people like us are also there. Encourage journaling and diaries. I would like to share, like recently I have also started writing diary. I pour everything in the diary. It has become my new friend. Especially on the days when I'm angry or I'm sad, I pour everything on the diary instead of pouring that anger, that aggression, or that sadness on the other people's, on somebody else. I try to pour that entire thing in my diary. So this has helped me a lot. I have become more calm. I have become more composed. So writing diaries is very, very fruitful, I can say. So we can encourage our children always to write diaries. Not only our children, we ourselves also can write diaries so that we become more calm. We become more self-aware about ourselves. Practicing self-care is very, very important. Establishing a self-care routine, a daily routine we need to establish. In this, in our day-to-day chaotic life, we forget to establish a self-care routine. This is very, very important, especially for the male staff. Females still they take out time for self-care, but the male staff, they do not generally do. So please take out time for self-care. Recognizing toxic stress events. This is very, very important. Cultivating interests and habits. Encouraging your child to focus on the movement. We do not encourage our child. We always tell our child कि देखो फ्यूचर में क्या होगा, फ्यूचर में तुमको क्या करना है, आगे का देखो. But we never encourage our child to live in that movement. This is very, very important. So these are the self-care routine that we all should follow, and we all should teach our children also. Now I would like to know from the teachers as to any one self-care routine or any one thing, self-care or self-love thing that you all do for yourself. Any one small thing, you can use the chat box to share so that everybody can know and everybody can get encouraged.
Regular exercises.
Yeah, okay, Shada teacher. Shada teacher does regular exercises. Who else? Any self-care thing that self-love thing, going to gym regularly. Okay, Mario sir. I would like to share. On my birthday, I present myself. Means I gift myself. I buy a present for myself because I feel that first I am for myself and then I am for others. So this is what a small gesture I do for myself. A small gift of love that I do. Yes, Geeta ma'am.
Yeah, Khushbu Santalia, although people will laugh on me, pedicure and manicure is my regular routine which I'm doing after every 15 days.
No, nobody will laugh at you. Why, ma'am? That is a self-care thing that you are doing for yourself. You should be proud of it that you're taking time. Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, Khushbu. I'm sorry I could not answer the first time because there was a network issue. So I would just like to answer this question for you. When I'm sad or when I'm upset, just to relieve the stress, I order pastries for myself. So I
do the
binge
same thing.
on
I
food,
bake
good
myself.
food.
Yes, Udita ma'am. Many of us do the same thing. I personally also do the same thing. Rakesh sir practices yoga. Yes. Good food. Francis sir, good food. Taking out time for meditation. Listening to soft songs.
Listening
Kavi sir.
songs.
Yes, ma'am. Listening to songs, exercising, Arvind sir, listening to soft songs, praying daily. Yes, praying also helps a lot. That is also a self-care thing that we all sometimes forget. But that should also be there. We should all at least 5 minutes we should take out and we should pray, and that is what we should teach our children. Like this is before I start my class, and I had shared the experience with other teachers also. I do 5 minutes of meditation with the children. Kamlesh sir have chicken every day except for Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. No stress will come, right sir? Morning walk regularly, Ashok sir. Yes, these are the things that these are, yes, Obro sir, meditation. These are the small little things that we all can do and we should definitely do. We should definitely take out time for ourselves. It is very, very important. To develop a hobby is very, very important. I also realized it very, very late that we have to develop a hobby. To be happy, we need to have a hobby. This, teaching might be a bread and butter for us, but except that we should develop a hobby for ourselves. That will make us happy. Now, types of self-care. There are different types of self-care: physical, emotional, social, and spiritual. These are the different types of self-care that one can inculcate. Physical includes sleeping, stretching, walking, physical relaxation, healthy food, yoga, rest. These are the physical activities that we can inculcate for the self-care thing. Emotional is stress management, emotional maturity, forgiveness, compassion, kindness. Social includes different support systems, social media. This is very, very important. I am seeing children of standard 4 and 5 sending friend requests on Instagrams and Facebook, putting all the photos. Like, I am shocked. Like, how can a standard 4 and 5 student do all these things? So this is very, very important. As a teacher, we need to continuously tell the students that positive social media is very, very important. We have to have this one-to-one discussion with our children about social media, especially during the COVID time. They are more into this social media thing. We need to continuously tell the children about. They only see the good thing about social media, but they are not seeing the harmful thing. We as a teacher need to tell them about the positive as well as the negative impact of social media. Spending time together. This is one more thing I suppose COVID has taught us, that we need to spend time with our parents, with our friends, with everybody. It is very, very important. Every time we cannot stay alone. We need to be with people. We need to spend time with our loved ones. Spiritual, time alone, meditation, connection, nature, journalizing, These are all spiritual things that we should inculcate. Then is discipline. This is a very debatable topic. I can say that discipline has completely been lost. As I was reading the chat box also, the teachers have said discipline has completely been lost from the students. They have completely forgotten how to come to school, how to sit in the school, how to interact with the teachers. They have completely forgotten everything. After being at home for so long, it has been observed that the students have not maintained discipline during the online classes and have become very fragile in nature. Bringing students back to physical classroom after such a long stay at home would be a difficult task. Following the rules and norms after a long time will be tough for them, as it was out of their habit. As the teachers, they were using the chat box, they all have told that the students have completely changed. I have also interacted with parents, the parents whose students were good in academics, whose parents were good in all round, they were good, they all have deteriorated. The parents are also very worried about the students. They are continuously on phone, and they are not listening to the parents also. So the biggest challenge in front of us is the discipline factor. Like how again I would like the teachers to share the experience as to how they are feeling. Means, are you satisfied with the students that are coming to school now? Okay, just a minute. I lost the connection. I'll read the chat box. Just a minute. Okay, I'll move forward and then I'll go back and read the chat box. While I was browsing, I had found a solution to this was counseling the students. This is very important. Counseling of the student is very important. One of the one-to-one counseling of the students is needed. We can take this initiative on working on counseling cell. We already have counseling cell in our school, I suppose. We can take this initiative of having counseling cell in our school. Like when I was doing my practice teaching Loyola School, I got an opportunity to meet the counselor over there. It was a very beautiful room over there where the counselor's room was there. It was completely decorated with all beautiful positive quotes were written on the wall. Means if you enter the room, it was like such a positive vibe you get from that room. So like a thing like that also we can have in our school. Any suggestions from the teacher about counseling cell? Like, will that be helpful? If we plan to have a counseling cell, will that be helpful? Yes, okay. That would be very helpful, I suppose. Yes, Malkeet ma'am, that would be very helpful, I suppose, because counseling is very much needed. We can also make a small counseling corner, I suppose, and the teachers, there are many teachers also that who have like Sulakshana teacher and all, they have the certificate for counseling. So we can have this because the students need counseling. So we can have a small corner where the students may come, they may pour out whatever things that They may pour out whatever they have emotionally, socially, or anything what they feel, and then this would be very beneficial. So maybe in our maybe next after the puja vacations we can think upon this counseling thing. Yes, Udita ma'am, Mario sir. This is the school counselor duty. Assisting the children with academics, assisting the children with socio-emotional needs, then communicating with the families of the parents, communicating with the staff. So this is what the duty of the counselor is, and this we can rethink about having a small little counsel cell in our school. How can we find balance? Violence is not always the answer. Then set yourself positive example. Draw attention to child's problem in a funny way. Help your child practice patience. Cultivate their conscience. So all these things we can do as a teacher to help the child to grow emotionally and socially. Now, linguistic skills. All the English teachers especially will agree to me that the linguistic skills have completely deteriorated in the child. In online assessments, there has been numerous cases of copying and pasting work, which has drastically impacted students' linguistic skills, making them sit, think, and write during the classes, asking them to complete their assignments is a very difficult task now. We all are facing this problem. But be it students of primary or high school, when writing is out of habit, it influences the student's capacity to learn, understand, and comprehend things. That is why it might be challenging for the educators to bring this back in practice. And we all are facing this. We all are facing this problem. In the online classes also, in the offline classes also, everywhere we are facing this problem. Now we have to focus on the linguistic skills of the students. Students are also worried about how will they write their offline exams now. They are more worried about how will they write their exams offline. We as a teachers, we have to remove this fear from the students. We again have to start from the base. Listening skills, speaking skills, writing skills, reading skills, everything needs to be inculcated in the students right from the very beginning now again. Dropouts. Our school has already seen a lot of dropouts. We all have seen a lot of dropouts, and this has affected the schools also. This has affected us also, because we as a teachers, we also don't feel nice when a student of our class is because their parents are not able to pay the fees, the students have to leave the school. We all have seen dropouts in our school. Maybe we can do our bit and at least talk to our parents and know the reason for the dropouts. If we can help the students in any way, that would be very great. So this is for some students, maybe we can help them. The library teachers they can help them with the books and all. They can help them with PDFs. They can help them with books and all, so that at least the dropout rate decreases. Now the next is curriculum and syllabus. Curriculum and syllabus have also completely changed, especially for the high school students for 9 to 12. The syllabus have completely changed. Student-centric learning is the call for the hour. Concept related to health, hygiene, environment, consciousness needs to be included in our curriculum. Also, significant amount of attention is needed to be paid on healthy lifestyle also. As the students have been giving online tests sitting at home for the past 1.5 years, the process of assessment has completely changed. Yes, the process of assessment, we all will agree to this, the process of assessment has completely changed. As the school reopens, the burden of tests should not be focused on the students. Yes, it is very true. The burden of tests should not be immediately forced on the students, especially the offline tests, because they are not prepared for this offline test. So as a teacher, we need effective lesson planning. Individualized learning has to happen to remove the gap that COVID has created. We need to remove this digital gap. We as a teachers need to remove the digital gap that has been created. So before the classroom, what the teachers can do, then during the classroom, what the teachers can do, and then after the classroom, what the teachers can do. These are the few things during the before the classroom. We need to prepare ourselves more than before and then go, because we may be in our mind, we may be prepared that chalo bachcha 5 से 6 में गया है तो इतना knowledge तो बच्चे को होगा ही. But no, after sitting at home for 1.5 years, they have forgotten everything. Again, that brushing needs to be done. So during the classroom, we need to change we need to shift to individualized learning, because a small batch of children are coming, so we can shift to individualized learning. And after the classroom, we need to reflect on what are the things that we need to change, or what are the good things that happened in our classroom. Now, as an educator, what is our role as an educator? Including interactive teaching learning process will help students open up and express their opinions. Teacher may include the activities that are students focused, which students will enjoy. Regular guidance and counseling will provide sense of security and safety among the students. So as I had already discussed earlier, that we as an educators, we have to bridge this digital gap that has been created. We again have to bring everything back on track. Let the train journey again continue after a long halt. Any other issues that the teachers are facing apart from this? Anybody would like to share any other issues that the teachers are facing? Apart from the things that I had discussed, any other issues that you would like to share that you all are facing? Apart from social, emotional well-being, apart from attendance, apart from discipline, any other issues that we may discuss that we all are facing? I suppose these are the major issues that we all have faced, and now maybe we have to work on it so that everything comes back on track. So these are the role of the educators: student, facilitator, role model, planner, information provider, resource developer. So we as educators, we have so much of role that we play. So curriculum planning, students assessment, mentoring the students, being the role model for the students, providing lectures to the students. There are so many things that we as an educators do. Now, the 21st century learners, how they should be. They should be a relationship builder. They should be reflector. They should be learned. They should be a storyteller. They should be artistic in nature. So these are the skills that a 21st century educator should imbibe in themselves. These are the new 21st century educator has to be like this. Okay, so I have some few activities that I found interesting on the net. I would like to share these activities. So this is a face drawn. We can plan these activities for the students, where the students, high school students have come back. We primary teachers can also plan. Yeah, children are not completing their work. Classworks also, homeworks also, right? They are not completing their work. This is another problem. So this is a face where the student can draw this face, and where the student can draw a happy face, a sad face, a smiling face, any emoji that they want to draw, and then they may write how they feel and the reason why do they feel like this. So with this, only this one activity, only the teacher will come to know what is the mental state of the child, how is the child feeling, what do we need to do with the child. With this one picture only, with this one drawing only, we will come to know that how is the child feeling. So another activity was there, 5 things that I have learned about myself. Do I like to live alone, or do I like to live in group? What are the favorite things that I like to do? How much time do I give to my friends and to my teachers? What was the most important, what was the most precious thing that I missed during this COVID? So they can write about all these things. So we as a teachers, we can have these activities in the class, and through these activities we can come to know as to how the child is feeling, which area we need to work on the child, everything, social well-being, emotional, what is the mental state, everything we'll come to know about the child through these activities. Then we can ask the child to write their best memories, their funniest movement, the best thing that they have learned during lockdown, their favorite movements with their families, everything. We can ask the child to draw. Then there are certain games that, since the children are not going out of the class, so there are certain games that we can play inside the classroom. Like Simon Says, this is a very interesting game that we all know, we all have played. So inside the classroom only, these are all social distancing games. When I browsed in the net, I got a new type of game. I had only heard about indoor games and outdoor games, but this is a new type of game that has been launched now, that is social distancing games. So these are all social distancing games. Like Simon Says, we all have played, and we can play with our children. Like this chair bingo. This chair bingo is about the activities that the children can do while sitting on the chair, like arm raising, shoulder flipping, tummy twisting, then chest stretching, then elbow pressing. So these are all the activities where the child can play inside the classroom only, because the child also get bored because they do not get proper recess, they are not allowed to go out and play, they do not have activity periods. So these are the activities we teachers can do. Then hopscotch. This is another activity if you want to take the students out in the playground, and we fear social distancing also. If the norms are, we have to keep that norms in mind. So this is one game that everybody loves. So this game also can be played with social distancing in mind, because this game will not require everybody. The child is also out of the classroom, the child is happy, and we have the child is playing this game also, and the social distancing norm is also followed. Then this is a game, very interesting game, where the child can be made to sit outside, and whatever they see outside, if they see a tree, they will color the tree, they will tick. If they see a flower around them, they are made to sit outside. If they see a flower around them, they will color the flower. This can be, and this also can be an activity which will be very interesting, which we all can inculcate in our classroom activities. We can include this in our classroom activities so that the classroom becomes more and more interesting. Okay, so this was it from my side. Thank you so much. If anybody would like to add something or say something, you are most welcome. Sorry, I had to stretch because 1 hour we need to speak. So I hope you liked the session. I hope I was able to clearly explain.
Thank you, Khushbu. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you, sir.
It should have been apt as soon as we could have done that as soon as we come back. But we are doing on the closing day of the school. But you've touched on the right points, and you've touched it correctly, and you've given us a lot of tools that we can work with it to get the students come back to school and address those challenges. So it was wonderful and a very, very interactive session. That's great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I thoroughly enjoyed, and it was very interactive. I think everybody enjoyed the session. So well done. Great. And you've given us a lot of tools to work with. I hope. I tried my level best through Arvind. Even at 4 o'clock, he called you up to see whether you are ready or not. We were thinking it can be postponed to after the session, but you were quite confident of doing it today. So thank you so much. And it was wonderful.
Thank you,
And I
sir.
hope-
Thank you, sir.
And I hope we all able to implement all the suggestions and the guidance that you all have given us, that it can be done to get the children happy and welcoming to the school. Well done. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Very good session, Khushbu. Very good session.
Thank you, sir.
You delivered, you have presented very well and was quite interactive.
Thank you, sir. The link has already been shared by Arvind, sir. You may fill the link.
Yes, ma'am, and thank you, ma'am. And I'm surprised that you got lots of confidence, and each and everything whatever you have shown in your presentation is really, and we will obviously we will adapt it. Lots of information was there.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, those who have appreciated in the chat box. I was unable to call your name and read. Thank you so much, everybody.